Welcome to Bright Horizons with
Hi, Deb Colalala and our one and
Jim
only
Chaffee.
Jim Chiaffi. Hi, everybody, and happy Monday.
It's a beautiful Monday. Yeah,
It
don't be
really
confused.
is.
It's not Friday. You know, with daylight savings time ending, there's a lot of confusion going on this past weekend. So
We-
now we're adding to the
We
confusion.
truly plan on being here on Friday. Gotcha. Well, you know us.
That's
by
one of
now.
life lessons learned.
One of life's lessons learned, for sure. And that is our topic today, life's lessons learned.
But you know, the funny part is I also had a flat tire last week. I just didn't happen to mention it to Deb.
Oh, my goodness.
But then
It's
Deb
so
had a flat
frustrating.
tire on Friday.
I'm leaving my driveway, and luckily for my husband, he had a doctor's appointment, and he couldn't. He tried so hard to take it off, and they air tight. Whatever they do with those air guns, it was impossible for him to take it off.
Right.
So we've got to wait until Saturday to get it done, which is what we did. But how frustrating is that? You're all geared up, you're all ready to go, and boom, 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 and all of a sudden I hear my husband, "Dad!" He's screaming. He sees it, and I'm feeling. I'm like, "Uh oh," and the car's going like this. Oh no, not today. It's Friday. Anyway, we've all been there. We know what that's like.
But with me, it was funny because on my vehicle, there's a warning, and it said tire pressure low.
Mine did as well, but
Oh,
I
did?
didn't know
Okay.
what it meant.
Okay,
And
so
I looked at the manual.
I forget what day it was last week. So I'm driving along, tire pressure low. I made one stop, and then I get back in the vehicle, and now the tire pressure is lower than the first reading. So I
Same
said,
thing.
"Oh, this has to be taken care of right away because I
The heart starts to.
Yes.
I know.
So
you're like,
luckily, I wasn't too far from my BMW dealer
Thank
where
God.
I bought the car, so
Thank
I brought
God.
it there. And don't you know it? There was either a nail or something was in the tire.
Yes, and
Yeah.
luckily it was on the side, so they were able to patch mine. You were able to patch yours
No,
too. They had to put the whole.
had to replace it. But
Well-
I have a coverage hazard coverage for that
Oh,
tire.
okay, good.
So
good,
luckily
good,
that covered it.
good,
But
good.
with the life's lesson learned, right?
Yes.
How to deal with unpredictable circumstances, right? Because we're all going to face something that we don't expect.
Unpredictable. That's what you are.
Yes.
Unpredictable. I'm sick of you.
Enough
I'm just
unpredictability,
being-
right?
I know. I'm just being silly, Willie. It's a Monday morning.
But with me, you know, when I first saw the warning signal, I said, "Oh, I'll bring it tomorrow morning."
That's.
Same
Amen.
thought process.
Oh my goodness gracious! Same thought process. I
Right.
saw it was like a W with the thing in the middle. I'm like, what in the world is this? It's bad enough I had ba 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 ba. The past couple of weeks happened. I don't need ba 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 ba. So sure enough, I look in the manual. I said, oh, low tire pressure. And as I'm driving, it went ba 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 ba. I'm like, okay, can't wait. You think you could wait, but no. Oy.
Yeah. So, like I said, mine couldn't wait either.
You know, we have to be
So-
very thankful too, Jim, because God forbid it could have happened on an open highway.
Right.
God forbid 95. Who
Right.
knows?
Right.
You know, it happened with me as I'm pulling out of the driveway. So I'm on the phone saying, Jim, I can't make it this morning. And of course, he had a busy schedule, but
But the life lesson learned is
Yeah.
you really have to take care of
yes.
emergencies when they occur.
When they occur, don't assume, because I
Right.
just kind of figured, okay, well, all right, Ty, I could just get some air and that's it.
And it's never convenient because
Always. It's Murphy's Law, isn't that the
right.
truth?
In my mind,
That is
I
the
had some
truth.
appointments scheduled that afternoon.
There you go.
So I said, well, you know, if I go right now, I might be late for my appointments. But really, it worked out because I was forced to go right then.
You see that? You were.
They
it
took
was
care of
almost
it.
like God said, "Okay,
Yeah.
this is what's going to happen."
They
right.
took care of it, and I didn't miss my appointments anyway. You know,
There
so
you go.
it all worked out.
You look
but-
back in retrospect, you're like, "Oh wow, this is why that happened." Okay, well, this isn't so bad as you think at the moment. You know, like I was telling Jim, I'm so emotional. I wear my heart on my sleeve. Everything's like a big oh. But anyway. I get over myself, but thank God Jim's got that steadiness about him. All right, calm down.
But that it's funny because I had one of life's lessons learned was don't procrastinate.
Please do not. Yes,
Which
and
is
I'm learning
this
that
is
big time.
it's similar to that. You know.
Very similar. And do not, don't, how's that saying go, Jim? Don't put off today what you can do tomorrow. Because you know what? Perfect example. Tire issues.
No, it's don't put off tomorrow what you can do today.
It's Monday. It's Monday. Remember I said it's Monday. Forgive
Plus,
me.
it's daylight savings time
There
change.
you go.
We'll blame it on all these things.
Less oxygen. I have to justify it somehow.
But you notice, I noticed when I during my life,
I
I'm saying a
don't
life
like
lesson learned.
procrastinating.
When I procrastinated, then it's on my mind.
Right. Amen.
Which is worse.
Absolutely. It's terrible.
Because
It's the
now,
worst. Oh,
if there's something
goodness.
else that occurs and you want to procrastinate also for that, now you've got two things on your mind.
Oh,
So
it is
really,
so true.
it's better to plan don't procrastinate.
Doing
Grab the bull by
things
the horns,
yes.
right? And
Oh,
tackle whatever it is. Because sometimes it's an unpleasant task. Like you say, oh, I don't really want to do that. I think I'm going to put that off till later.
Yeah.
But think how good you feel when you've actually done the task, even though you thought it
what
was
a
going to be
feeling.
difficult.
It's like
It's
your
such a
heart,
relief.
the weight that's off of your shoulders.
Yeah, it's
and on
such a
your
relief.
like I said, shake it off. Oh, it just builds up and builds up. You think it's okay. Like I said a little warning. I thought, okay, I'll put some air in it, no big deal.
Wasn't there a Taylor Swift song, Shake It Off?
Yeah, oh yeah, shake it off, shake it off.
Deb
shake
just
it
said,
off.
shake it off. So
Taylor Swift, you don't only live once. That's what they say. I was reading something. It says here, had a never mind. Okay. Anyway, with that being said.
another lesson that I've learned over time is over time. Time is precious.
Yes, amen to that
Because it's
too.
the one
It
commodity
really
we'll
is.
never have again, you know?
What happened 2 minutes ago, even with me singing the Shake It Off, that's not going to happen. Well, it'll happen again, you know me, I'll sing, but
Right.
it's that moment in time. It'll
Right.
never come back to us.
Right.
And we grab it. And, you know, when you think about, look at this Matthew Perry who just passed
Yes.
away. My God, on Friends, what a shocker.
Yes.
You know, what a beautiful, I don't know.
Well, he was public with his issues with
Yes, he was.
dependency
He
on
was
drugs and
public
alcohol.
with his issues, you know.
And of course, it stems from issues with his family and childhood.
Right, right.
But it's going to help other people, hopefully. I mean, he tried to help other
He
people
really
while
did.
he was
So
alive.
God bless you.
Yeah. But it is tragic that he was only. I thought he was older because 54.
I did too. Yeah. When
So
Greg
he was
told me,
about 20, I guess, when he was on that television show, Friends.
Yeah. What a great
But-
show too.
Yeah, we
What
all
a great sitcom.
mourn the loss of someone like him. He's so creative and such a good actor.
Yes, absolutely.
But another life, lesson learned.
Yeah.
You have to deal with your dependencies. If you have issues or aspects that you want to improve, there's no time like now to really do
Yes.
that.
No time like the present, Jim. You said that beautifully.
And with time is precious, family time, right?
Is that ever? Because you can never get
we
it
have to
back.
prioritize, and unfortunately, we all have to work. So work is normally our number one priority, but we
Right,
also have to
right.
realize that our family time is so important.
Right.
Because you'll never get that back either, especially when you have children, like my nieces and nephews growing
Yeah.
up. They'll never be those ages again.
Never.
So
Never.
it's important to
To capture the moments
yes,
as they're growing.
and
right.
participate with them in
Right.
those things that are happening in their lives.
And with Thanksgiving around the corner, it's even more so.
Yes.
And I said the other day, it's important to be thankful. Of course, Thanksgiving is a special time of the year, and we all love it. But each and every day, just like Valentine's
Yes.
Day, is very special. You love one another. Give me a box of chocolates and flowers. Does that mean I'm going to love you more? No, absolutely not. It doesn't mean I'm going to love you more. I'll always love you more, but it doesn't signify, well, gee, look what he did or look what she did. That should be every single day. Every single day. So we give thanks every day.
Yes.
For sure, for sure, for sure.
Well, one of our shows was gratitude,
yes,
remember?
Yes, absolutely.
And that's another life's lesson learned is
Yeah.
gratitude. If you're grateful when you wake up and you go to
Amen.
sleep,
So grateful.
it really puts you in the right frame of mind. Which is so
Every
important.
morning when I get up, and I do this in the shower. All right, you know one of my secrets. Okay. All right. Anyway, I do. I give thanks because I feel blessed and grateful. In fact, I have that on my timeline on Facebook, and I don't change it because I am blessed and grateful.
Right.
I'm blessed and grateful to have the parents, the family, my friends
Right.
who mean the world to me, and I don't know what I would do without them in my world because honestly, I am who I am because of them. And I hope and pray that I can do the same for them as well. And
Well, that's the beauty of family and
it's so imperative.
people
to
that touch our
realize that.
lives.
Oh, yes, yeah.
because they teach
Yeah.
us lessons.
Oh, yeah.
And it's often indirect that the lesson is learned.
I get emotional.
Here we go. The tears are going to come.
Don't worry about me. I wear my heart on my string, on my sleeve, and
yes.
it's just like,
It's good when you. That's another life lessons learned I had here. When the emotions occur, you really need to feel the emotion and let it happen. Because when you suppress it, it's the worst thing you can do
terrible.
to suppress emotion. And oftentimes we say, "Oh, we don't want to tear up in public,"
Oh, no. But
and
it can't be helped.
and women
I
with their
just-
makeup don't want
yeah.
to tear up in public.
Oh, I don't care. I think you've all seen me with that makeup. I don't really wear
Let's
that
see if
much
the
to
black's
be-
going to drip
Is
down.
it raccoon eyes?
No, beautiful.
Anyway, no, I just get emotional because these past couple of weeks have been very
Yes.
emotional, and it's all good.
And it reminds us our family too, the sacrifices that
Yeah,
our
you
families
say to
have
yourself,
made for
gee,
us.
do you want to put somebody through this or do you not?
Right,
But you do because you know in your heart that you can.
right. But see, it's
And
good
they would
that
understand.
you had those tears at that moment, because if you suppress them, it's going to actually burst at another time when you least expect it. And I think I've told that story before when my father passed away. I was 15 years old, and I think I wanted to be the man of the family, so I didn't really cry. And I remember when we were driving to the cemetery, my aunt and uncle were in the
Wow.
limousine with us, and my
Yeah.
aunt said, "If you want to cry, cry."
It's okay.
And I said, "I don't
It's
really
okay.
feel that I want to cry right now." But years later, I realized I was holding it in when I really probably should have cried at the time.
Oh, sure.
Because several years later, it just burst out in the most inopportune time in front of my fraternity brothers
That's
when I was talking
okay.
about
You're
my.
who you are.
I
You
know.
and you
But-
can't. Certain things you just cannot control. That's
But
wonderful.
I mean, looking back, the comical part was here. I'm talking to my fraternity brothers. We're at a sensitivity training.
Do you have a tissue on you?
We're at a sensitivity training.
I'm sorry.
Did I bring one?
I hope you did.
No.
Well, you know what?
Wait, let's see. No, I don't have.
Do you?
Is there one on your desk? I'll
Yeah,
be happy.
excuse me. Let me go
Okay.
get a tissue because this is ridiculous. I'll be right back. I tried to dry my eyes. Oh, you right.
So I'll continue with the story while Deb's getting the tissue. I was at a sensitivity training, and all my fraternity brothers, there were like 30 of us in a room, and each one of us had to stand up, and they had us draw something that was symbolic of our lives. And I drew twins because I always thought I was Gemini, and the significance of Gemini is twins. So as I'm describing what's happening there, I'm mentioning my parents and my father, and then all of a sudden, I burst out in uncontrollable tears when I was talking about my father, which was several years after he had passed. But I had
I'm
bottled
back,
it all
everybody.
up. Yeah, I had bottled it up.
Oh, I was
because
listening to you as I walked
yeah.
away. Yeah.
I had bottled it up thinking, I guess subconsciously, well, I'm the man of the family and I really shouldn't show the emotion. And then the funny part was, I'm looking at the faces of my fraternity brothers, and they don't know what to do. here's their fraternity
Aw.
brother, uncontrollably crying in front of them. They don't even understand why,
Aw.
because it just burst out and I couldn't talk.
It's just one of those things,
Yeah,
right.
whoever the leader was of that training came over to me. And then a couple of the brothers stood up and they put their hands on my shoulders to calm it down. But I laugh at it now because it was funny when I look back on it. But the lesson learned was
Yeah.
feel the emotion. If you feel like crying at the specific time, it's best to cry at that time.
Right.
And not hold it back because
You know,
it
we
can
try
really
to be
build up.
so strong. And that was so. I'm so glad you mentioned that, Jim, because
Yes.
we try so hard to be strong for ourselves. And you know, you want to be there for everybody else, and you feel like if you cry, you're weak. You know, it doesn't mean
It's
that you're
not,
weak.
that's not a sign of weakness.
It's just
It's
that
an emotion.
It's, right, it's
Yeah.
an emotion, and basically, anyway, we are human, and we do things because we are human. End of
Yes.
story.
And we have to live our lives as
Right.
humans. Yes.
You know, I was reading something. Good things are often scary, but scary things are not always good, it says. Getting out of your comfort zone is by definition uncomfortable.
It's important. Yes.
It's easier to say no to opportunities that feel scary. But many of the best decisions I have made have felt scary. You know,
Yes.
and at first. of
Because
course,
we don't
yeah.
know what the consequences are going to be.
You know, think about that. A lot you don't know. They say, "Oh, go out of your comfort zone. Do this, do that." I've known myself to do that, and has it worked out? Sometimes, yes. In the past, it most certainly has. And as you get, I've noticed with me, and I don't know, I can't speak on behalf of anyone else, but as you get older, you're a little, you tighten the reins a little bit more. I feel for me because I'm like, oh, I've been there, done that. I don't know, you know.
Yes.
So I don't know if it's such a smart move at this point. But I don't know. It's just every second that you make a decision, you know. And like I said in my video the other day, I found myself to be ridiculous. I tend to beat myself up too much. And my sister Holly said to me, and Holly, I love you mwah, for saying that. She says, Deb, stop beating yourself up. It is what it is. You did what you had to do at the time and at the moment. And she's right, you know.
It's
So
true.
we have to stop taking that we trust us and say, oh, why did you do that? It's done.
Well,
it's over.
You know, we're often too critical of ourselves,
Right,
which is
right.
another life lesson learned.
Right. Uh-huh.
One of my aunts used to say, we are our own worst enemy.
I said that too.
You know,
Absolutely.
Because psychologically, sometimes
Absolutely.
we're negative about ourselves.
Yeah.
And you really want to dispel that out of your brain
You do,
because
because you don't want, right.
that doesn't help you in any way. You know, you really want to encourage yourself. Negativity is not going to encourage yourself.
Yes, it's
So you want to
so
be
true.
try to always remain positive thoughts in your head. but it's so easy to be negative about
Oh,
ourselves.
is it ever? You
We
know?
want to dispel that. Because let's face it, if I'm with Deb and she's being negative, I'm going to tell her, that's not you, and I'll explain why she shouldn't be negative, right?
I don't think
And
we've
if
ever
I,
had that moment, have we?
no, but if I were negative, I'm sure Deb would say, "Oh, don't say that," and she would point out the positive
you're
things.
right. That's
so
true.
in your
That is
mind,
so true.
think
Right.
about your
Yeah.
being your own best loved one. Because your loved one is not going to let you do that. So you have to be
Right,
your
right.
best loved one, and tell yourself, "No,
Right.
I'm not going to let that negativity
Right.
take over my
In
mind."
fact, this morning I had a conversation with my younger sister. It's funny how this is all coming into play. And I made a comment about something she had brought up from the past. And she misunderstood, she took it the wrong way and said, don't say this, don't say that. And I said, no, 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 you misunderstood. My intentions were good. And then she got it, she understood. In other words, don't bring up the past because it is what it is.
Right.
And by you bringing it up, what good is it going to be? Because it's
Right.
only bringing you down, and I have to hear it again. Not that
Right.
I don't love you, and I don't want to. I really don't want to hear it again.
Right.
It's not that I don't love you, I don't care, but what is the purpose? I have to say to myself, why am I hearing this
Right.
again?
Right.
Is it because it's just a vicious cycle, and we just can't get beyond that point?
Well, it's good you spoke about it though, because
Right,
hurt
right.
feelings
See?
you don't want to leave with hurt feelings. So it's
Right.
better to
Now, make it a
explore
point.
why someone
Right.
is hurt,
Right.
and then try to resolve it if it can be resolved. So
Right.
we have to be psychiatrists too and psychologists.
That's true too. Psychiatrist. But getting back to you and I, it's true. I don't remember ever being negative around you. Have I?
I don't think I've been negative
And
around you either.
never ever have
Well,
you.
who could be negative around Deb? She's always such an
Aw.
upbeat and happy person.
And the same goes for you,
And she wants
Mr.
to,
Jim.
yeah. And now, if you've ever been around Deb at any type of a social function, she's always the one that wants everybody to have a good time,
I
and
do.
she's also always encouraging them to do so. So you can't be negative around Deb. But
Aw.
it's beautiful to learn another life's experience. We want to
Yeah.
build each other up, right?
Absolutely.
Because sometimes we can't do it ourselves. We need
Absolutely.
others to help us, and sometimes you can't think through something, and
That's
it's good
so
to have
true.
the other perspective that will be positive and
It's
build
like
you up.
reach out and touch somebody's hand, grab
Right.
it because they need it. You need it, we need it. So
Yeah, we don't want to
good
be around
point.
negative
Very
people.
Good point.
We don't want to be around negative people.
Yeah. Every second you spend wishing you had someone else's life is a second. Now, this is another thing I see a lot of people wanting to do. Stop trying to be like somebody else.
Right.
Be you. Be all
Right.
you could be. Just be you. It's an error. Why would you want to share somebody else's? I mean, let them be them. You be you. Does it matter? Think about it. I see
No.
that a lot. I see a lot
Because
of
you
people.
can't be them.
No,
So-
don't be, always. That has a lot to. It comes into play when you're living life's lessons. Oh
Right.
well, if he jumps off of a mountain into a river or whatever, I mean, what are you going to do? Do the same thing, of course. Then remember that your parents would tell you growing up.
But we also have to realize we're different people.
Right,
That person
right.
might have certain strengths, and then we
That's
have
true.
certain strengths.
That's true. Yeah.
So we can't emulate someone who doesn't have that same strength. Let's say if I admired Albert Einstein. Well, I'm not a scientist. I could never compare with Albert Einstein in the areas that he endeavored. He could never have been a lawyer, probably.
Good point.
So
That's true.
as much as I might emulate him, I'm not going to be frustrated because I can't be Albert Einstein. Although you admire him,
Of course,
but I
of
can't
course.
emulate him. You want to be practical about.
I
the
do admire him.
people
It's
that-
amazing what he's done.
Yes,
My goodness
I know.
gracious.
To think some people, the accomplishment, like Leonardo da Vinci. I mean, how could someone
Oh
be
my goodness.
so wise to be able to be so, in so many areas he was excelled. It was just unbelievable that somebody could do that. But you're not going to think less of yourself because you're not going to be Leonardo da Vinci.
Absolutely
Yeah.
not. Absolutely.
Even if you
not.
could excel in one of the areas that he
Right,
excelled,
right.
it just would be wonderful.
And there's some truth, I think, in saying, or I shouldn't say think, there is some truth in your hand, your line of your heart. Everybody has a different thumbprint.
Right.
Everybody, think about that. Your thumbprint, your index finger, all your fingers have different lines and different prints. Isn't that interesting?
It is. We're all unique.
Very unique.
Even the retina of the eye, some of the identification, well, even the phone, I think, uses the retina.
Yes, I've read about that.
I don't.
Yes.
I don't use that on my phone. I don't want to restrict my ability to get into it.
Right.
I'm always worried. Well, what if it's not reading the retina right? So I'm not going to get into my phone. At the airport, they have a service now called Clear. That
Do they?
it's a
I've
quicker
been
way to
there
get
for God
through.
knows how long.
quicker way to get through the airport. So I registered for it. But they use the eye, so you have to look into the screen and it reads it and then it identifies you and you can go through. A couple of times in the early morning flights.
That's a little creepy when you think of that.
But it was so funny because sometimes I've been at the airport at 5:30 or 6 in the morning. So, my eyes are half open at that time.
I know.
And I'm looking at
He flies
this.
all over the place at any given time, Jim. Where are you going
So I'm
now?
looking in this, and it couldn't read my eyes. And I'm saying, I better blink. Maybe there's not enough liquid in my eyes.
Yeah, it's
So,
looking at you, baby.
so then finally, it worked. But I was fearful. Couldn't get through because it wouldn't read my eyes.
Hello.
I should have had a drink before I went.
You drink? I don't know. Although, that would be funny. My Jim. Oh my God, that is so funny the way you described that. And finding the beauty in everything too is so imperative. I mean, I just, the darndest things. I could find beauty in something that maybe perhaps Jim may not, or this one may not. But
Because you all have a different perspective.
And a different perspective. But finding the beauty is what makes you get through the day as well, All right, so it didn't, it downpoured. We had a lot of rain. Okay, well, look at that gorgeous rainbow afterwards, right? Finding the beauty in everything. Not necessarily that it downpoured and that it rained. Oh my gosh, I can't see 2 people in front of me and I don't have my umbrella and so on and so forth. But look at that rainbow, right?
But you can also look at it a couple of ways. The downpour makes us stop and think for a while because you normally don't want to be in it, so it makes you stop in your tracks. And now you're thinking, well, maybe I just have to stop right now and contemplate or resolve something in my mind while I have this time, And actually, it's very beautiful when you have a heavy rain.
Yes.
To watch it gorgeous. And to hear it, to hear it, there's beauty in that too.
And the smell of a beautiful rain.
Or before it rains,
isn't that
you can tell when the rain's going to come.
And I love watching it on the lake, trickling down. You see this, it looks like diamonds. It looks just like beautiful diamonds bouncing off of the lake. And I'll see the beauty and then I'll stop and I'll be mesmerized. I'll be, oh my gosh, look at that. Boom, 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 boom. So pretty.
It is.
Me and my
beautiful.
Boom, 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 boom. I find beauty, try to find beauty in everything. And also, do not assume malice.
Right.
All right? Why is that being said? Why did I say that? Because we are not mind readers. How do we know truly what somebody else is thinking, whether it's a good friend, a loved one, a stranger? Do you really know what they just went through? Maybe they just went through hearing some disastrous news about their loved one or so on and so forth. It could be anything. Don't assume. ASSUME. And you all know what that means when you assume.
Yes, we don't want to say that.
Of course. You don't want to do that, but assume nothing. Do not attribute to malice and cruelty. Get the explanation first. Find out what the deal is. Find out exactly what occurred to make you feel that way or the other person feel that, and get it straightened out, because assumptions are not good, and anger is never the answer. Absolutely never. And just so much of that goes on.
It's a reaction, unfortunately.
It is. It's an automatic reaction, right? Yeah.
But you have to think twice before you actually do convey the anger.
Yes. Hey, listen, we've all been known to do it. I mean, I'm guilty. I've done it in the past. I try not to do it now. Well,
the worst is the words that you express you can't take back.
Right. They're cutting.
So, yeah.
Words are cutting, and there's a song by Rod Stewart, right? He sings, "The first cut is the deepest." Yeah, that's the name of the song. I love Rod Stewart's.
Now, when you think about what I said before about expressing your emotions, so if you do feel anger, it's probably worthwhile to express it, but not to hurt the person that you're with. So maybe there's a way you could channel it into some other mode, but you don't want to hold it back, but you actually don't want to hurt the person that you might be with.
It's brought nothing. It never brings you any good.
Right.
It truly does not bring you any good. It's the same thing. You can't put yourself in someone else's shoes when you're angry, and don't be angry, period. End of story. Just try not to be angry. Get the story and just say, maybe, is this something I've done that's upsetting you? Is it something that I can help you with? Or, gee, I didn't know that. I'm grateful that you told me. I'm thankful that you told me. Get a logical explanation, an open line of communication before you just jump.
Right.
Yeah.
Another life lesson that I've learned is say yes to new experiences.
Yes.
So when they were presented to you,
I love it.
Realize it and take advantage of it because it could be such a life-changing experience. I would recommend you, whatever is presented to you, do it. Don't be
This man
hesitating.
is
Yes.
wonderful at doing
Don't
that.
hesitate.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, you are, Jim.
It's
You know,
important.
Jim has opened the door to me, and especially in particularly now. I mean, I really just I can go on and on, but say yes. You're so right, Jim. Because don't be afraid. Take that chance and know that it's coming from somebody who truly has your back, and
Right.
someone who would never ever ask you to do that if they didn't have your best interest at
Right.
heart.
Right.
So yes, absolutely. And
Because we learn from new experiences too.
oh, do we ever? Do we ever? Good,
And
bad,
that
and different.
life isn't
Sure.
boring then either, right?
That's true. It's not boring. That's right. Good point. How could it be boring?
But you also want to put yourself into situations where you might experience new things. Don't become a recluse and focus in
Right.
on yourself. It's important to we're creatures that needs other people, so it's important to talk to others and get feedback about things because other people's perspectives are so
Right.
important also.
People who
People need people.
are the
The
luckiest
people
people in the world.
world.
Barbara Streisand, you said it beautifully.
That's,
You know,
she
we have to
said.
correlate everything with music, but it's
Yes.
a gorgeous song,
It
isn't
is.
it, though?
It is.
People who need people. We are the luckiest people in the world. And nobody cares if you fail. How true is that to you, Jim? Think about that.
Right.
Does anybody care
Actually,
if
the
you
people
fail?
that love you will support you even if you fail.
That's
you know.
right.
And we learn from
Good example.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we learn from challenges, right? Everybody's had them,
Yeah, yeah.
Now I don't know if I use the word fail, because I think I've told you this before. There's a church in Hope Sound. As you drive by, they have wise sayings every day. They change them maybe weekly or
Interesting.
yeah.
Okay.
So one time it said, "Failure is not falling down. Okay, it's not getting up." So we
I
all
like
fall.
that.
We all fall.
That's how you get up.
But that doesn't mean you
Oh,
failed.
I love that.
Yeah, if you stay down, you failed, right? But you have to get up, So
It's how you,
does-
it's not what happens, it's
it's
how
not-
you handle it.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Okay, I love
yeah,
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, stop worrying about what other people think. The truth is that mostly, well, if they don't think anything, okay, that's on them. And why do you care? People who are in your corner, as Jim was just saying, people in your family, the ones that you know have your back.
right. They'll support you.
They'll support you. Always have, always will, and that's a blessing within a blessing itself.
Now, I
More
came,
than anything you could ever hope for in life is that kind of a friendship and love.
I came across a website, and I don't remember how I came across this, but we all know the expression "growing older." Okay, but
Yes.
this website is called "Growing Bolder," which I
Ooh,
love because
bolder.
what they're saying is, as we age,
That's
be
right.
bolder about
Be
life.
bolder, not so much
And
timid.
it's, and what it is, it's
I like
inspire.
that.
It's inspiring for seniors. This website.
I love that.
They have examples of people that are achieving in their later life.
Very
uh,
nice.
So, and I've said before, we rewire. You don't retire.
Even
There are
I
so many
like
things
that.
to do in
Rewire,
our
not
lives,
retire.
right? So, on this particular website, I was reviewing it, and it said, "Always maintain a sense of purpose," which this is a life lesson that I've
Yeah.
learned, because I've mentioned it before. Some of my senior clients decline when they don't have a sense of purpose.
Yeah, it's true. Very,
And-
very
and very
unfortunate,
often
but
men-
true.
Men, we view ourselves by our career. So if there's a change in our career or retire from your career, then they have no purpose in life, and
It's
that
like,
and they
what's going
decline.
on?
Yeah. So they say, "Oh, I'll play golf, I'll do this or that," but you don't get the same sense of fulfillment sometimes from you did from your career. But it doesn't mean that you should retire from life, right? So
Right.
there are other experiences that you would want to develop if you do change from a full-time work
I love
schedule to
that.
something else. Yeah.
Leave it to Jim to say it so beautifully said, Jim, and so spot
Always
on.
maintain a sense
Yeah.
of purpose.
You know, maintain a sense of purpose is writing for me. I love to
Yes.
write. I enjoy. You know what I found myself doing for the longest time, and I stopped doing it, but I go back to it. I don't really stop per se indefinitely. I pick it back up when I'm feeling something. If I think of something, I get a piece of paper and I write it down.
Important,
Because
yes.
that is your journey's life. That's what you're feeling at the moment. That's what's happening at the moment. That's what's going on in your world at the moment. So that creates your story, the Deb story, the Jim story, your story. Having that superpower to me is an emotional fulfillment, being able to get a piece of paper. And I remember growing up in school, if you had asked me what was the favorite, I would say writing in English. I enjoyed that so much. Remember the composition of the black
Yes.
and white composition books. I
Yes.
loved it, and we would have to hit. And I went to
Did you
Catholic
save any of
school.
them? You saved
Yes, believe it or not, I did. And Jim knows. I mean, if I could save my dresses when I was 9 years old and a watch when I had my first Holy Communion at the age of 9, yes, believe it or not, I've saved a little, too much, but it's a good
It's
thing.
nice to look back at those
It
and
is.
see what you wrote.
So
Yes.
basically, they would be my diaries. I mean, not
Yes.
just a diary,
Right.
diaries.
It tracks your
because,
life.
Yes,
It tracks your life. Beautiful.
events and more. Anyone starting, you don't have to start here today, now.
Now,
It doesn't matter. Write something down yesterday, tomorrow. Okay.
we've spoken about Deb's book that she was writing about the dog, right?
Yes.
Do we have a title for that?
Shake it to the cockapoo.
Shake it, okay. So now what we're going to discuss, you have to finish it.
Yep.
So,
Absolutely, yes.
see, now
Not yet.
she's saying she's going to finish it, so we're going to hold Deb to that because it'll be a wonderful book for us all to read. Just like I had written my children's book last year. I'm still trying to get it published, but it will be published
Can I-
available for everybody else. Can you see what I saw? It's called.
Can I say, I'm looking for it. Every time I look at class, I think of Jim because it's so true with many, many different
Yes.
fragmentations of what they look like. It's wow.
Use your imagination,
Yes,
what you see in the
amazing.
clouds.
And
So we want to see that book
yes,
completed.
Shake Her to the Cockapoo. And
You're illustrating it also, right?
I was trying to. I may have to go a different route with that
Right.
because the way I looked at it is not so much. I don't think at this point, but
Okay.
I could be wrong. I'm debating
Okay.
between the two. More than likely, I will. For different reasons, for emotional reasons, things I've
Right.
seen on my own with
Right.
him being such a sweetheart of a baby.
Well, don't be afraid
The fur
of it.
baby.
I mean, if you feel you could illustrate it, I would
I
encourage you to
feel
do
like
so.
I have the ability to do that. Yes, I started a few things. I thought, oh, this is like a child, but that's what it's all about,
Well, it's a children's book.
right? So that's what it's all about.
Yeah. So the Lord might be directing you that way to make it look
Oh,
like
he's
it's
directed me in lots of directions, especially lately. To say, "Wake up, okay now." You have to fall in love with the process, and the process is right there in front of us. In the same, in the same way as don't focus in on too much at once. You still have to fall in love with the process, regardless. And just do your thing. Just do your thing. There's a song. It's
Your
your
thing.
thing.
Do what you
wanna
gonna do.
Da 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 da. I can't tell you who to sock it to. Hit me, Jim. I think it goes, hit me, baby. Anyway, that's it. Hit your thing. All right. Being from silly to serious. It is your thing. Seriously, It is your thing. People can't read your thoughts. It's your thing. Let it be your thing.
Yeah, so you have to verbalize your thoughts because people cannot read them. So it is important to let
That's
other
right.
people know what you're thinking about.
Yeah. And are you vulnerable? Yes.
We all are.
We all
yes.
are. When you think about that, being exposed to the possibility of being harmed is terrifying. Being exposed to just about anything that you're not used to is terrifying. Therefore, it makes me vulnerable. It makes you. But you know what? Is it something to be afraid of? Again, life's lessons being learned. We know when we have to go like this, and we know when it's time to say, okay, wake up. Splash that water on your face. Do what you got to do. It's just life's lessons are just so powerful, and they're so imperative in so many
Yes.
ways that we don't realize. We take a lot for granted. I know I speak on behalf when I say we, me. Maybe you can relate to this, maybe you can't, but I know I've learned a lot by taking things for granted. Not intentionally, but priorities do matter.
Right. Anne, my love, posted the train last week. Remember that story of the
Oh,
train?
yes, the
I wanted to
train.
read a little bit about that
Yes.
because I think that it's a life lesson learned and
Yes,
it just
the train
makes
is so
us think about
powerful.
it, yes.
Many people come off.
Yes. At birth, we boarded the train and met our parents, and we believe they will always travel by our side. As time goes by, other people will board the train, and they will be significant. Our siblings, friends, children, strangers, even the love of your life. However, at some point, our parents will step down from the train, leaving us on this journey alone. Others will step down over time and leave a permanent vacuum. Some, however, will go unnoticed, that we don't even realize they vacated their seats.
That's right.
The train ride will be full of joy, sorrow, fantasy, expectations, hellos, goodbyes, and farewells. Success consists of having a good relationship with all the passengers and requiring that we give the best of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
The mystery to everyone is we do not know at which station we ourselves will step down.
That's right.
So we must live in the best way, love, forgive, and offer the best of who we are. It is important to do this because when the time comes for us to step down and leave our seat, empty. We should leave behind beautiful memories for those who will continue to travel on the train of their life. So we wish you all a joyful journey on your train of life, because it is so important to
Amen.
realize people
Every
come
time
into
I
our
read
life
that
for
and
some
see
reason.
that, and
Yes.
thank you for posting
Yeah.
that. Every time I see that, and I've seen it many times, it touches my heart. I'm gonna start to cry again because
Yes.
it's so powerful and so very true. When you put it correlated like that, there are so many people that are on our train. Do we see them clearly? Not so much.
Right.
But do we see certain ones? Absolutely. Dear and near to our heart. I mean, the train, that is such a profound, beautiful story.
Yes. And,
Of really putting it into facts and correlations.
but in conjunction with that, we also want to realize, as a life lesson learned, that those who have left us that we hold so dear, they're with us. Their spirits are with us. So we should
Very
talk
much
to them.
so.
Yes.
Very much so.
I talked to my parents. I talked to
Oh,
Barbara.
absolutely,
I talked
yeah.
to all these people
Absolutely,
that had
yeah, oh,
meaning
sure.
in my life, to let them know that I appreciate the love that they shared with us
Yes.
and that they poured into our lives. And so, it comes to that mental adjustment that although they're not with us physically, they're still with us in their spirit, and we can talk to them, and that they give us little signs.
Yes.
Deb's pointed out the signs from her parents, and
Oh,
we all,
always,
if we're
always.
open to them, we realize that there are those signs
There's a
all around
connection.
us.
And all of a
Yes.
sudden you'll see a bird, you'll see something, but you'll know that connection when you see it and you'll feel it in your heart.
As always, we want to talk a little bit about our dear Marie Pinchmit.
Marie Pinchmit, our show would be nothing without you. At the end of our show, we love you and need you. And you always pick spot on essays, Jim, for every
This
topic.
one's called Don't Forget to Remember.
Uh-oh. Don't forget to remember.
So these are little life lessons learned. When I look out my window every morning, I thank God for another day, for my life. See, we're talking about gratitude.
That's right.
For my home, my friends, for the sunshine, right? Sometimes we take that for granted. Even the rain that keeps our area so beautiful.
Oh, you talk about
See, we
spot
discussed
on.
everything that you're pointing out, Marie.
Oh, stop the tears, Deb.
But there are other things to be
Beautiful,
thankful for.
beautiful.
A 15-minute drive can get me to a well-trained doctor and hospital if needed, right?
That's
I mean, the
right.
convenience of a car that so many people
That's
never
right.
had in generations before.
That's right.
This alone would be a gift to greater than the hope diamond to many living in other parts of the world. A mother has to travel from Baghdad to Jordan to purchase medicine for her diabetic daughter, not knowing if she will return. In other parts of the world, people don't have things at their disposal like we do. So we really have to be thankful that they do.
That's right.
I just wanted to point that part out. Let me see if there's anything else. In our personal relationships and as a country, we must not forget to remember the past, nor the lessons the past has taught us, which is true. We learn from the past, so we always want to be conscious of that and honor the past too. Thank you, Marie.
Thank
we
you,
love
Marie.
you.
We love you, love you, love you. Thank you so much.
And what a difference a day makes.
What a difference a day makes.
But I
And
have
with
to
that-
warn all of you, we don't have the tambourine today.
We don't have the tambourine.
But that will not deter us from our song.
Guess what? Here we go. Let's see.
What a difference a day makes. 24 little hours brought the sun and the flowers where there used to be rain. What a difference a day makes. And the difference is you and 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 you.
You know what a difference you make in our lives, and we certainly hope that we're making a difference in your life this Monday morning. God bless you all. Please
Yes.
send us your thoughts. Send us your whatever you want to send us, a song, a topic that you'd like us to touch. Keep those instant messages coming. We love you all, and we love to hear from you.
And
So,
remember, you make a difference in everyone's lives too.
Right.
So all the people around you, you make a difference in their life. So we really encourage you to keep
your
horizons bright.
Always keep your horizons bright. And with that being said, until next time.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. We
God bless
appreciate
you
all
all.
of you. Thank you for joining us.